Engine. And we're live. Welcome to the Redeye stream. It is Sunday. We'll be doing the World War One stream here in a couple hours. But for now, Farty, our friend from the other side of the world, has a conspiracy he wants to talk about. I guess a little kid was playing with matches and lit fires all over his yard. What's going on, Farty?
Oh, well, yeah. Those who know me know that I'm not partial to debunking a conspiracy here or there. And I got a new one, and I figured, well, I'll share this one live with you, just so you sort of can see the process and how there are some kernels of truth within a conspiracy and all this kind of stuff, but you got to sort of know what you're looking at to figure it out. Some of this stuff that I have mentioned to you before, so when I reference people, like there'll be a fair bit of that. Oh, remember I mentioned that Gerber baby and all this kind of shit. So there'll be a bit of that in this. Okay, um, just quick backstory on how I got this. Um, I'm getting some renovations done to my house, and the bloke that was doing some repair work downstairs, he's going, "Oh, yeah, what about these bloody fires?" And he said he'd show it to me, but I think I got this by mistake. Anyway, um, starts off with a shit ton of stupid emojis. Um, I've read and share the fuck out of this, and if you find this as interesting fucked as I do, copied from another post. People think this past week has just been about the bushfires, but it's been about much more. These bushfires are destined to be used as a catalyst to change the face of Australia. First of all, it's very suspicious that so many fires broke out at the same time. Yes, it is a little bit suspicious, but it's not what this guy's going to say. Um, Stretching fire services fire services to the limit to try and contain them, which they did, but it's not what he's going to say. Um, there were over 80 fires burning at one stage, which really isn't nothing. Back in my day, a really serious year was when you had 200 fires burning in the state at any one point in time. Now, go on with the suspicious part of it. Yeah, these fires have been lit by every known source known to man. Everything from lightning strikes to national parks and wildlife service elongating out fires so as they can use them as um, hazard reductions. And yes, they've been deliberately lit fires, and yes, we've caught quite a few firebugs too. Um, and yes, they were stretching the fire services, um, and we'll find out why in a sec. Uh, Scarcely a month ago, the New South Wales Premier, Gladys Berejiklian, announced a 75% cut to the funding of the New South Wales Rural Fire Service in New South Wales, which ensured that when the fires broke out, that there wouldn't be enough resources to deal with them adequately. Well, I'm not surprised that there was a fundage cut. Um, hey Falcon, when you when you
Yeah.
when you're assembling that bomb, can you do it quietly, please?
Oh, crap. I forgot to uh, well, long explanation short. I forgot to mute myself, and I'm working on a customer's 1911.
um, yeah, so I highly doubt that the Rural Fire Services budget was cut by 75%, considering that we've got some pretty expensive toys this year, like a DC-10 and a 737 and a C-130 Firebomber. Now, they're pretty expensive. Now, it does explain a lot as to the reason why um, uh, we got a Section 44 announced, which is basically an open checkbook or a state of emergency. We didn't get that announced until 2 weeks too late up here. That does explain that. And I know probably where the motivation for this comes from, but we'll find that out in a minute. Getting back to it, thousands of residents were told not to expect help from the rural fire service and were left to fend for themselves. I highly doubt that actually happened because, well, by law, they're not allowed to. Thirdly, the fire chief announced that at a press conference, and here's where he's losing me. He said that at a press conference that, quotation marks, we have burnt more than 1 million hectares so far this season, end quote. Man, you had to go the Larry Silverstein angle. Okay. There's two rational explanations for that. One, he's been misquoted, and two, if anything, yes, we probably could have burnt over 1 million hectares. There is a dry firefighting technique called backburning. And basically what a backburn is, you light a big fire in front of another big fire, and contrary to popular belief, the two fires just simply won't continue on their course. Fire creates its own wind, especially when you're talking about the fire behaviour of that magnitude. And it burns out the air between the two fires, and the wind comes from outside of the fire, basically blowing the two fires on top of each other. So they'll actually burn towards each other, not away from each other. So
Well, okay, so Farty.
Yep.
Here's the thing. All right. Let's put a little context here. And what's up, Jesse? And common sense guy. Like I said, you're buying me dinner, dude. God damn it. No. Okay. So, Farty, when it comes to the fires, is it like California where you had a bunch of homeless people light shit on fire and they just got out of control? Or is it, I don't know, the fact that you guys have been in a severe drought and everything's dry as fuck and there's not enough water around? I mean, that couldn't be it, right? Not at all.
No. See, Orange Man Bad said global warming's not a thing, so we can't be in a drought at the moment. No, yeah, the drought is like a huge part of it, but yeah, never mind that. They seem to forget facts in the conspiracy.
If
Well,
I may
no,
ask,
and you said that you guys got some new aircraft as well. So that kind of automatically debunks the idea that they cut funding that drastically. Now you can still cut funding and afford a old aircraft, especially if somebody's selling it to you to be nice, considering it's for firefighting. You know what I mean? It probably was an old military aircraft that they sold to the firefighters, right?
No, we're actually renting them.
interesting.
We rent them off. I believe we rent them off Conair, which is an American company. We used to do this with the sky cranes. We rented them off a mob called Ericsson, because apparently we don't have a use for them during the off season, so we don't have a use to actually buy them.
I don't remember. Oh, sorry for interrupting.
Oh yeah, so just real quick, yeah. So we're doing the whole more expensive way around it than just buying it.
I don't remember. I heard from someone else. I don't know if this is true, but is the credit? No, I can't remember its name. But do you guys have that Martin Mars down there right now?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking that thing is one big airplane. It definitely could get down there, and yeah, it would be definitely be an asset, especially because it's a flying boat, and she can just scoop the water off some big lake or off the ocean.
Well,
Well,
back
that's
in go.
yeah. Yeah, sorry, Farty. That's kind of what I was wondering. Up here, when 2 years ago, when the fire was so close, I had an evacuation warning on my door. They were using helicopters, and the Wildland firefighting company owned these helicopters, and they would scoop the water straight out of the Mackenzie River and dump it on the wildfire. You guys don't have those?
Yeah, yeah, we've got smaller helicopters that carry baby buckets and all that kind of stuff. Now, the smaller helicopters they use for, like, VIP transports and stuff like that, and other utility type jobs on the off season. We've got jobs for those. We don't have jobs for the sky cranes or a dedicated firebombing aircraft.
Well, the only downside with there are many downsides of the Bambi buckets, but airplanes like that DC-10 and C-130 and whatnot, they're pretty damn valuable just because they can carry so much liquid.
Mm. Yeah, we finally got the ban lifted on FOSCheck too, so we're finally bombing people with clay.
If I may ask, do you guys do controlled burns?
Hang on. Wait. I just realised we're talking about fires in Australia. Shouldn't we prove Australia first? Australia.
Australia is real. I know he thinks it's a myth.
Just look for the giant smoke cloud coming up from the middle of nowhere in the Pacific. Sorry, what was your question, Falcon?
Do you guys do controlled burns?
Well, see, here's the thing with that, and this is the part of another reason why we're in such a bad year, which is not only are we a few years into a drought, but we're also 8 years from our last blow-up year. And like speaking from experience, we'd like to have a blow-up year every 2 years, if not a hazard reduction every 2 years. Now, the process of a hazard reduction goes a bit like this. We'll actually go and walk out the area that we'll want to burn. Like we'll actually mark that out with a GPS. So we'll actually stand in a point and press a button on the GPS. We'll test things like fuel loading, and this is an easy task. It's a 1 meter by 1 meter square, like a picture frame. We drop it on the ground. Everything inside that square goes into a bag. We weigh it, and then we calculate that over a hectare. So that gives us our fuel loading. We'll organise crews, we'll organise a day and all this kind of stuff, because we have to do that first, and do our safety mitigation and all that kind of shit. Do we need extra air crews or stuff like that? Because I've been to hazard reductions where we've had helicopters. And do we need to have evacuation things thought of? Things like that, and then we'll hand off the paperwork to the greenies, and the greenies will give an environmental fucking report on it. Usually it's a no. So they've been getting away with that for the last 8 years. It's been 8 years since we've had a blow-up year.
Yeah, no, and Jesse was talking about it takes a lot of guts to walk out into a forest fire. Yeah, my friend Brandon, he was a wildland firefighter for 5 years in a row. He wanted me to go do the pack test with him and go out there. I talked to my wife, and this was right after four firefighters died in their emergency fire fucking tent. They laid it down correctly, so they say, but they were swept over, and I think you only survive about 3 minutes inside the fire tent. Well, the fire was there a lot longer than 3 minutes. And my wife was like, no, you're not going to go fight fires. Fuck off. So, yeah, I never did it.
Well, the safety equipment I've always thought was quite dubious, really. Like, it's a foiled tent that you're basically going to be staying under. That sort of says to me that you'll be roasted alive. But back in my day, we had like this pissy little spray bar at the back of the cab, That was our crew protection. We're supposed to leave 10% of water so it'll run for 10 minutes. And if you ever seen one of those things on like working with a slight breeze, it's sort of well, that whole thing about fire making its own wind I mentioned before is more ferocious than this pissy little breeze. Like there's a major reason why they got spray bars everywhere on the trucks nowadays, because they obviously saw the same thing I did. It's one of those things where, like, yeah, I know it's going to do fuck all, but I'd rather have it than not.
Yeah, no, and those fire tents, seriously, you lay it down and you hold it down and you pray. You're pretty much, if you're at the point where you have to lay this emergency tent down, you're already dead. I mean,
Well, it's kind of like the idea that the Air Force played around in the 60s with putting an ejection seat in the SR-71. You really think you're going to survive an ejection going at Mach 3 at about 100,000 feet up? It was a little crazy to think it would actually work to start with. So that's the way I see the whole fire tent thing as.
For want of a better, a placebo effect. It makes people think that it'll work, and therefore calms people down, means that they're actually still willing to do the job. After all, if you knew, and I mean you knew, that you was dead meat doing this job, you're not going to do it.
yeah, no, and Aunt Jack says it's like submarine escape equipment. We had it to make mothers and wives feel better about their sons or husbands being on a sub. So I figure it's the same for wildlife firefighters. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so the whole he said we burn 1 million hectares, as we've just gone into, is a very valid way of fighting a fire. So, like, and backburns aren't sort of something we go around doing willy nilly either. It's there's some considerations that need to be made. The wind's in the favour. Is there any houses involved or anything like that? There's a checklist they've got to go through before they can actually get one authorised. Anyway, so we've burned 1 million hectares so far this season. Was that a Freudian slip or a guilty conscience that could help? Well, that couldn't help revealing the truth. I'll let you decide. So there's the point where he's lost me. Later, we're told that the fires could go on for months. How can anyone predict how long bushfires will continue? Unless you were the one orchestrating them.
Yeah.
And finally, because of the sheer ferocity and devastation, we're now being told we must rethink how we live, with a push to get people off their land. Well, that's not happening at all. And yes, there is a big push this year of like, well, okay, all these idiots living with bush 5 feet from their back door, you idiots have got to stop doing that. There's even actually a push to let the Aboriginals go back to burning off fucking during the winter time because, well, let's see the greenies argue that with the Yabos. Good luck. Anyway.
Well, no, I was actually going to bring that up as a conspiracy theory. Are you sure it's not the Aborigines burning half of Australia to run you fuckers out of there?
Actually, I'm waiting for him to think of that one. Anyway, so here's where his argument is. Enter Clara, a company, Consolidated Land and Rail Australia, which made a proposed to the government in 2017 for a high-speed rail line from Melbourne to Brisbane, including at least 3 smart cities to be built along with it. Interestingly, many of the fires along the east coast correspond with proposed route for the high-speed rail line. Now, if he didn't say anything about the whole fucking Gerber baby fucking misquoting his line and all this kind of shit, I might have fucking given this kind of a little bit more credence, because we did have a fire just before the Olympics in Sydney where there was some houses owned by the Olympic site or the Olympic mob that all burnt down for insurance reasons. But anyway, let's see, where were we? Yeah,
Okay, dead air.
yeah.
Well, okay. What do you think, Jensen? When it comes to the conspiracy, I think what Farty's getting at here is this guy tends to believe the government is burning its own country down. For what reason? Does he have a reason, or is that just his theory?
Yeah. I'm getting to that. Interestingly, many of these fires along the east coast correspond with the proposed route, the high-speed rail line, and
Well, how about
part of the proposal includes setting aside land for this development that cannot be used for anything else. This means land. Um, oh, this means that out of the misery and loss of these fires, the government and Clara Company already know that the land is actually being cleared by fire to make way for the rail line. For those who don't know, one of the most basic aims of Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030 is to remove land or remove people from the land and herd them into smart cities connected by high-speed rail. No doubt these or those who have lost property in the fires along the proposed rail route will not be allowed to rebuild on their land, but be encouraged instead to rebuild within these areas designated as smart cities. The the first photo from the fire is up near me. Doesn't matter about that. I'm not there. Oh, fuck's sake. I'm not saying this is legit, but fuck, it's a bit sus, don't you think? All right, basically,
If I
here you go.
if I can make one comment real quick, Mitch posted something like 5 minutes ago in the chat. Create a crisis to obtain control. Maybe.
Well, basically, what this bloke reckons is that land deemed not where did he say it? Fucking land that can't be used for other purposes. Yeah, that doesn't mean shit. I live in land that's like that, and that's only because I live in a flood zone. There's a lot of those up and down the New South Wales coast. But he thinks that fucking like, oh yeah, they're going to orchestrate bushfires to force people off land when they can just simply pay them out.
in all fairness, why pay them out when you can just set the fire? I mean, I seem to remember that was a moderately standard trick that the Americans did when they were first creating their cross-continental rail. Am I correct there, Matt?
Yeah, but you see, like if you burn somebody out, they still own the land. Therefore, they still need to be paid out because all they're going to do is get their insurance money and rebuild.
Well, no, and don't you guys have eminent domain over there as well, to where the government could say, we need this property for this purpose, so we're going to pay you 50 cents on the dollar?
Well, yeah, but we don't usually give them out that much.
And I've got a question about I'm getting this idea from real estate, location. If you, let's say there you have a hypothetical town A and it gets destroyed by a wildfire completely, is the land that the people own there does the value just tank with that, or does the value then still remain the same? Basically, they still own the land, but does it keep the same value, or is it pretty much now worthless?
Yes. No. Yeah, land has more value than if it does have a property, like than it has if it has got a house on it. Yeah, because the property market, like the actual property itself, would be typically larger than in the cities. But
Okay.
right now, the crux of this is he's right in a couple of things. Now, where I said about the rural fire service getting the fundage cut, I really wouldn't put it past Gladys Berejiklian to do it, and I've even fucking said that too. Like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it to you, Dodge, that fucking like the Section 44 came in a little bit too late. And he is kind of right. It is about a rail service, but he's got the wrong one. See, Gladys, who's the state premier, he's like the fucking the governor. Yeah, she's been trying to put in this fucking light rail system around fucking Sydney in the CBD, and that's been fucking over costing and fucking over budget and over fucking what's it, over schedule. It's a fucking farce. It's a massive joke. So I'm betting $10 some of the rural fire service money is going to pay for that bloody stupid thing. And there's the nuggets of truth. There's the cut in the rural fire service. There's the rail link, and there's Gladys's link. The rest of it about the whole burning people out, that's a lot of shit.
There is one thing you have forgotten.
What?
The aliens. There's
I was waiting for that one.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that's my job.
Well, you got a point there, because like a lot of 9/11 truthers don't understand is like, why do they need the explosives and the thermite and the airplanes and the missiles and all this kind of stuff when the aliens were just going to set fire to it anyways?
Hey, I'm not saying it was aliens, but you know, aliens.
Honestly, guys, I think that some of the dumbest people on the planet are the 9/11 truthers. Oh, well, jet fuel doesn't burn at this temperature. Idiots! It doesn't need to burn real hot. It just, even if it burns at all, the building is still under the supports of the building is under a lot of stress, so it doesn't need to get that hot to weaken it.
You know what? I'm gonna be that guy. Fuck you. All right. Explain to me why exactly we let a bunch of Saudi Arabian people leave the day of the 9/11 attack, and when we had a countrywide blackout of all flights. We let them fly out of the country.
I'll see your Saudi Arabians leaving and raise you an Australian Prime Minister, because no one says anything about John Howard leaving the same time.
Oh, that's it? It was the Aussies. That's it. I'm creating a whole conspiracy based on the Australian connection now.
Yeah, no, what a lot of people don't understand is that when they said, like, countrywide travel ban, that was for you peasant fucks, but, like, us important Australians got to do what we wanted. Because this is what you also don't understand about COPO, is that I was wondering, how in the fucking hell is the FTC going to find my stupid Aussie ass and all this kind of stuff? Nah, get fucked. Yeah, they'll try, and the courts will laugh at them out here, and no, well, it turns out they actually can't. The COPA can't fucking affect me one little fucking bit, partly for the fact that I'm fucking as bad as child-friendly as Freddy Krueger in a fucking childcare centre. But but yeah, the only thing that they can actually do is go, oh, fucking, this guy we don't like. Can you boot him off, please, YouTube? We can't touch him with a fine, and then YouTube will be obligated to boot you. Now, this is where another bit of a conspiracy comes in, and this is what a lot of people haven't realised yet, is that, yes, YouTube is now will be able to boot people under the guise of COPA because the FTC can't fucking touch you. So they'll just use that. Oh, the FTC told us to do it, so we booted you. They said it. There's nothing more we can do. Oh, dear.
Yeah, I agree, mate. It's fucking ridiculous, the whole thing. I mean, honestly, how are they expecting to actually enforce this? There are too many countries with their own laws, and at least half of them are going to enjoy shoving one finger up towards the court at the suggestion.
Yeah. I think it's the
They're not enforcing the COPPA rules on satellite radio, are they? I mean, you have Howard Stern over there. You have a lot of other stuff on Sirius, and they're not making them jump through these hoops. Why are they making YouTubers?
Dodge, I think you're missing the fundamental point here, and it's only the kid-friendly ones. It's only the ones that make the fucking Elsa fucking shit and like Lego unboxing and stuff like that. For starters, it doesn't fucking bother me because, oh well, I'm not kid-friendly to begin with. I never professed to be, so this doesn't actually like us. Like it doesn't involve us. Because we're not fucking preaching to kids. We're not a kids show to start with, so we don't even fall under COPA to begin with. But even if I did, like, because there's nothing stopping some cunt from trying to allude that you are, and apparently, if you're alluded to, that's as good as a fact, apparently. But like, if it does come under a thing where someone said that you're kid friendly and all this kind of shit, they can't touch any cunt in Australia because, well, you know, it's not your law, sunshine. I don't give a fuck what your bloody government said. And this is fucking the ultimate, like, you know. But I'm an American. Yeah, so what? Fuck knuckle, you're not an American now.
Yeah, but your rules in Australia are even more draconian than our rules are they not? Don't you get arrested for bullying, kind of like the UK? You guys fall under the Commonwealth, so you have the UK model, right?
Well, we've got the Westminster system. We don't have the exact same laws and stuff like that, though.
There's vast differences, Mad.
Okay, because, right, Jensen, you can get in trouble for, well, saying a racial slur, for example, right?
Yeah. It's stupid, but yes, we can actually get put away for even intimating a ism slur. You see, that's the problem. We have to be careful with what we actually say on here. Or as I like to put it, I don't give a shit, come at me, you bastards.
We can get done.
Not everybody has claymores rigged to their front door, you paranoid bastard. You know?
I'm not paranoid, they are after me. Sorry, mate,
we can get done for doing for racial slurs and stuff like that. It's kind of like spitting. Yes, you can be booked for it, but you'd really have to do it on a copper's shoot to have it done. We just don't really enforce it.
It ends up being a matter of how much effort that they really want to put in. Generally, the whole point is that they're basically, these laws are out here to try and scare people into obeying more than anything else. That's why they've gone for such high targets, so as people see, oh, I know that named person. Oh my God, they're getting in trouble for doing this. I better not do this. You understand?
In fact, the last time I actually heard of someone getting booked for spitting on someone's shoe or spitting in public was like, it's the one cunt that would do this. And he's like, I got kicked out of Penrith last night by the cops. I'm like, how do you get kicked out of a place by the bloody cops? Oh, for spitting. It's like, did you spit in his shoe? He's like, yeah, how'd you know? Fucking idiot.
Oh dear God, genius. From Common Sense Guy, did you know that you can't say Muslim terrorist on YouTube? Oh, I just did. And while I'm saying words that I'm not allowed to say, Epstein was murdered. Come after me.
Hey, watch out. Oh, I thought that was Jensen that left. I'm like, oh shit, the Clintons work faster than I thought.
How dare you?
You're not allowed to
Yes.
type in there. It'll immediately remove it.
You stole my childhood.
Oh yeah, I'll steal your childhood, you little cunt.
Shut up. Oh, she finally admitted that the whole climate change thing was not about the climate. No shit. Yeah, we kind of figured that out a long time ago. You hypocrite.
But okay, I got a conspiracy for you. Farty, check it out. The fires in California, right? They were set. Some of them were set by a jackass throwing cigarettes out, trying to start fires. Another one was set by a homeless camp. Now, in Redding, California, they want to round up the homeless people and put them in care facilities where they're not allowed to leave until they can, they could be self-sufficient. But how do you get self-sufficient when you're in a quote-unquote care facility? You kind of don't. So you're kind of going to be arrested forever at this point. Is that what they're aiming for in Australia? Are they going to blame it on the homeless community and then start locking them up in camps out with the kangaroos and the drop bears?
No, because, well, the people that have been finding everything from little kids to fucking bloody adults, like normal people. And yes, this is the town that has the dickhead that a couple of years ago on a 40-degree day, zero humidity, and 30-kilometre-an-hour winds, thought it was a wonderful idea to go, hey, son, I'll show you what the fire trucks do. And thought that was a fucking well and valid thing to do on a day like that, and wondered why he got 2 years in jail. He's out now, and yes, we've had that this year already. The dumb shit during all of these fires decided that yes, it'd be a great time to go and burn off some grass around the bottom of his dam. Oh damn, the fire got away.
Oopsie.
Yes, I unfortunately live in that town. This is another reason where this cunt's argument falls down, because we are not fucking smart enough to have a fucking smart city here. Hell, I love the Sheila up the fucking service station said it best. I said, oh, I found out that fucking Airsoft makes landmines now, and they look pretty realistic. I'm thinking about buying some. And then start burying them around the front lawn, like really fucking, like, over, kind of put barbed wire around, caution, Achtung mean, and fucking bloody signs up, fucking, and then out with, like, fucking me helmet and fucking all me flak jackets and shit like that on, make me all look like I'm fucking the legit thing, fucking dig a little hole and stick this fucker in there and then bury it over and all this, just to see what happens. And she goes, Jesus, around here, I wouldn't trust anyone with a fucking soup spoon, let alone a fucking landmine.
see, the only way to make that better is to put some of the signs in like Russian or Chinese.
Well, no, I'm wondering. I'm still thinking about the fires you got going on. So that hole in the ozone layer, all the smoke from the fire just escapes out into the universe, right? So we have nothing to worry about.
Well. See, we can't do that anymore because, well, you know that hole in the ozone layer that wouldn't close up ever. It closed
It's
up.
closed.
See, that's the funny thing about those about what I call the well, I guess you can call them the eco worshippers. Every single prediction, without exception, has been wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
And
never gonna happen, and it happens the next day.
And I predicted
But you
back in
forget
the
something. Sorry, dude, go on.
I predicted that back in the 80s, fucking when I was a fucking child. Oh, it won't close up, it won't close up. Oh, fuck off, idiot. You look like you couldn't be trusted to have a shower.
But what the rest of you don't realise is it's not that the ones that they've already said are wrong. It's just that the next one might be true, and you've got to be
shit.
ready for the next one.
Jensen,
That's the thing.
have you been sniffing too much paint thinner?
No, you can't sniff paint thinner, man. I mean, that's against the environment. Oh my god, what if the environment dies?
well,
Well,
you're screwed. Because if
Well,
the environment dies, only the British die.
well, you see, I'm saying that Mother Nature is on my side. It's the bushfires are just replacing everything that I wouldn't have smoked had they not increased the taxes on cigarettes. It's smoking with me, man. It's replacing all that shit back into the atmosphere, so all you secondhand smokers can go fuck off. It's protesting the high taxes. Mother Nature's with me. Repeal the taxes, they can't.
Oh dear, God.
You can't get away with it. I'll make more. I'll use my Jedi powers to make more bushfires. I made the storms to put them
Unfortunately,
out.
that's not good. Oh, hello, he's back.
There we go.
Can you try not to disappear, Mad? It looks really bad when you do that.
I think my internet was glitching. You guys were breaking up, but you kept talking, so I'm guessing it was my end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and reminding me of internet connections. Hopefully within the next couple months, I should have reliable internet instead of this cell phone.
By the way, Mad, Barry is bitch slapping you here. Okay, he's just pointed out he's just used shadow step. Come on,
I'll cut your fucking head off, Barry. I know.
And press stop on the record button.
No, fuck that. No. When are we gonna do the Rose City game this week? We haven't set up a day for that yet.
True. The problem is we've not actually had enough people around to. And yes, he did, Barry. He also shoved Shroud of Darkness round you, so you're choking too. Anyway, back to you, Mad. Until we actually speak about it, we might as well just carry on with doing it on the Tuesday. The problem is getting everyone together to ask. Well,
yeah, but speaking of conspiracies, okay. I doubt the government's setting the fires in Australia. But what they are doing over in your neck of the woods, Farty, is censorship to a degree that is almost on par with China at this point. How much worse is it going to get before you guys go, hey, We like saying cunt, you cunt.
Well, I haven't heard them say anything about can't say cunt in Australia. They have, as a result of one dickhead shooting up a mosque, fucking decided that 4chan can't be accessed in Australia.
Seriously?
Yeah, can't get in the 4chan out here unless you got a VPN.
Yeah.
But see, like it doesn't fucking matter. I mean, like there's ways of getting around it, like a VPN, and they like. Like that's just because 4chan's too damn lazy to do what like fucking Putlocker and all that kind of stuff do every time. Oh, we're gonna cut down on the piracy. Oh, we're gonna cut these channels out, and then like 2 days later, it's the same thing. Oh, Putlocker at fucking du dot slash fucking one.com. It's back fucking a day or so later, and like. You did fucking nothing, you dumb shits.
When are governments ever going to learn, and a lot of women will learn, that censorship doesn't work?
They're not ever going to learn. We know this.
Fifis? Is that the reason why?
No,
Sorry, say again?
I said, Fifis? Is that the reason why?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, of course. The feelings
No.
are all that matter.
No, it's just them just being fucking annoying, and I hate it when fucking idiots that don't know about a fucking certain system walk into a place and think, oh, I know how to fucking fix this. Oh shit, a brick. How long before we work our way around this? You know, like we've already figured fucking. We already don't like it. We're already figuring a way around it. It doesn't matter what you're doing. This is just being annoying. And then they go and do this, and then they fucking, oh yeah, we fixed this, and then 2 days later it's back, and it's like, you fixed fucking nothing. Now fuck off back to where you come from. Oh, can't say that. That'd be eluding a race.
No, it's funny because all I could think of is my mother-in-law took a bookshelf, right, and she mounted it to the wall, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that's gonna fall, right? It's fine. Okay. 2 days later, it fell off the wall. I'm like, see?
Hey guys, I've got some news to share with y'all, and no, I'm not gonna send a picture, for the individual's the customer's privacy reasons, and I didn't fit the frame, or not the frame. I didn't fit the barrel and bushing to the slide, but other than that, I have officially built my first 1911.
Well done, mate.
Thank you. He was just wanting a GI spec 1911, so I ordered a frame, and I went ahead and just thought, it would be so much easier just to order the $219 built up slide that had everything, that I only have to fit it to the frame, instead of like doing it all, piecing it together, and having to worry about getting the slide finished and this, that, and the other, and also having to spend like $200 additional in tools. But eventually I'll end up getting those tools someday.
Yeah, no. Well done, mate. Seriously. Now all you've got to do is test it, make sure the damn thing works.
Exactly.
That's
what tomorrow morning's about.
Well,
that's what tomorrow morning's about. I got a box of 100 Federal 230 grain full metal jacket that if it runs through all of that without any issues, then okay, it's finished.
Yeah, I can see that.
But we do have about 10 more minutes here. Farty, I don't think you got everything out about that conspiracy. You were talking about what you agree with him on. Where does he go completely off the reservation?
He goes completely off the reservation when he basically started saying the Larry Silverstein. Oh, we made the decision to pull it, so we pulled it. See, they pulled it. And we burn 1 million hectares. Right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I gave you a valid reason why you would say, yeah, they probably did burn 8 million hectares. Yeah. It, yeah. Fucking, yeah.
Well, okay, I do know that the fires pretty much completely surrounded where you live. So, if anybody was going to be inclined to believe a conspiracy theory about these fires, I would think it'd be you, considering it's directly affecting you. Um, you don't think there's anything weird going on. It's just some idiot started some fires and shit got out of control, right?
Well, a lot of things happened. See, there's several different departments that cover several different things. There's state forests who covers state forests. And you got National Parks and Wildlife Service who we used to call National Sparks and Wildfire Service. Guess what they do? There's Rural Fire Service that covers basic normal bushland parks, and in in Blacktown we did everything but hazmat. And they're usually what's there to back up the retained firefighters, which are part-time firefighters that are state-run, and then you got New South Wales Fire Rescue, which are the full-timers. So and everyone's got their own little bit of land, and everyone's allowed to burn off and not burn off. Like we can't burn off on Crown land, but back in Blacktown, we had a way around that. We put in a burn. We used to use backburns as a way of doing hazard reductions, and it was easy because there was a lot of kids running around burning that place off. So, but national parks like to leave large swathes of land burning for a great deal of time. There's a fire down in this place called Bee's Nest. They've been burning for 8 weeks in a national parks fire, and it got out of hand several times. And this is the reason why you don't let your big swathes of land burn like that, because they get out of hand and 3 people are now dead.
Well, Crown Land, is that kind of like the King's Woods? You know, you're not allowed to do anything out there. It's actually owned by the Crown, or is that just what you call it?
Yeah, it's like federal land. Yeah, we just call it Crown land. Yeah. So we've had people light fires. We've had national parks fucking get out of hand. And around here, you could see on the satellite that there were fires starting ahead of the fire front, and so that's into the wind. And fires don't start like that, so we've had a few deliberately lit around here. And there's storms, the dry lightning strikes from thunderstorms that can actually dead set light a fire. There's plenty of different ways they can start.
How long is your dry season? Because I know you're in your summer, or headed into your summer right now, right? So how long is your dry season usually?
Usually it's only 3 months, but since we're in a drought, it's been however many years this thing's been going on for.
Okay, well, Jensen, do you have any questions about these fires? Do you think it's a conspiracy? I do know in California, a lot of them were purposely lit. And firebugs, you could consider that a conspiracy, right? So if a few of these fires were lit ahead of the fire crews deliberately, then that is kind of a conspiracy.
I'm still running with the concept that they're doing it to actually clear people off the land so as they can have an easier time building said railway, because that actually really strikes me as the most logical of said conspiracies. I mean, yeah, okay, it's true. We could be wrong. These could just be random events that are happening. But I don't think any of us actually believe that. There is some smart ass out there doing it. The question is why are they doing it? Because after all, you know, it could well be just literally a bunch of kids going, "Oh, this is fun. I made a fire," and then it gets out of control. The problem is, yeah, people that do that, unless they're going to get caught, and I really mean punished, not just like, oh, here's a fine. I'm talking thoroughly punished. They're going to carry on doing it, mate. They really are. But I still say keep an eye on what's going on with the train and the setting up of new towns and whatnot. That seems like the most likely conspiracy.
Well, so it's funny you bring that up, and I'd put it to you that actually criminalising it's probably caused more harm than good, because they did do that. They did say that, yes, well, we catch any firebugs and shit from the previous summer. That oh yeah, we're gonna throw the fucking book, and then the shelf the book was on, the fucking wall the book the shelf was on, the fucking room the shelf was in, the fucking building the and throwing the fucking book at him. And they've made it so that it's such a fucking taboo out here to light a fire, and there's been a lot of kids getting caught this year. I reckon fucking they made it such a taboo that fucking now they've popularised it as a criminal act.
Well, if you
Yeah,
make it a taboo, then kids are going to want to do that.
Exactly.
what kind of punishment are the kids actually getting for this? Because you said they've caught a few.
Yeah, slaps on the wrist.
Again, that's what I say. They need to make this so bad. And I mean, yeah, I don't know how far they can actually take the punishments in your country, but the kids need to be absolutely shit scared to do this. Otherwise, it's going to have no effect, because kids like fire, kids like causing trouble. You put those two things together and then add a dry land. You know, it's not like Australia is known as a wetland now, is it? So, whoosh, fire, lots of problems, people dying, and then the kids are sitting back there going, "What? What are you going to do? Here, I'll slap my wrist. There you go. Fuck you, copper." Can't be allowing that. It's got to be a case of the kid goes away, the parents go away. Shit, man, if needs be, their neighbours are put away too. It needs to be a full-on punishment, and people realise that it's no longer just dicking around.
Yeah, well, I said this back when they got rid of the cane in school. Fucking, it's going to take 0.3 of a second for the fucking the bully kids to fucking go, or else what, sir?
Exactly. Back when I was in school, the principal had written permission, and it was notarized that they could use the belt on me, and that was the only thing that actually got my attention. Well, for a while it did. But the way we do it here in South Georgia, when it comes to kids doing stupid shit, is the first thing we do is they're arrested. They go to the police station just to scare the living snot out of them. If it continues, that's when actual charges are pressed. But first time, it's just hey, we're going to get your attention. We're going to act like we're going to fingerprint you and act like we're actually following through, but we're actually just calling your parents.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is it's kids, and there is the whole psychological thing of, oh, you can't do that to children. Okay, true, you can't do that to children. Then stop registering them as children and treat them as adults. If they're able and willing to commit these sort of crimes that are causing this much and this much cash cost, in damages, they should be punished as though they're adults. If that's a problem for them, then one of two things: one, don't do it; two, don't get caught.
Yeah, yeah, I see your point. Okay, so we also have the World War One stream today, probably at the top of the hour. So we're gonna wrap this one up right here. Any last thoughts, anybody?
Aliens.
Definitely aliens.
The aliens are turning the frogs gay.
We know that.
on that note, thank you everybody for coming out. We'll be back here 2 o'clock on the West Coast with the World War One stream. It might run a little bit long. I guess December 1916 was rather packed full of action. Yay. More death and destruction. Because that's what we do around here. Talk to you guys in a little bit. Good night, good luck, and don't go to France. Farty will nuke it.
Aliens. Why is it not stopping?
I don't know. It said an error occurred. Wait a moment, and then you can end it. That's weird.
I thought Farty was gonna say his favorite word.
Boobies.
Boobies!
Oh yeah, forgot to say that. Yeah, you can stop it.
No, this is going to be one of those streams that just keeps on going.
Yeah, StreamYards does not want us to end. That's so weird. Oh my god. This is like try number 5. Alright, so Brian the Observer said antediluvian. Somebody knows something about Vampire the Masquerade, huh?
Yes. It's going to be interesting. We've got lots of people showing an interest now. And we're still waiting.
Yeah, it's seriously not letting me end the stream. I'm going to try and refresh my whole page.
Okay. That's actually funny. We are literally stuck on the stream. You only get 20 hours. And they're making him spend extra.
No, he's not refreshing the page. He's just knocked the fuck out and he's left us to deal with it.
Oh no, thank crap for that. I actually thought you were serious for a minute.
Oh, dear.
Any news, Dodge?
No, it's still not letting me end the stream. Fucking StreamYards. We want to stop.
We're not letting you stop. You got another 20 hours.
Oh my god.
This will teach you for trying to juke the system.
No, this is messed up. They actually limit your hours per month now, too. So, like, they're not letting me end. This is actually an issue. And
I wonder why they limit it.
To make you pay for the services. Simple as that. You pay something like $10 and that you get unlimited stream time. Of course, the real question is how many people are still watching? Because apparently, we've still got 6 people watching.
Well, yeah, now we got the chip bag going on. That's how...
Asshole.
Yeah. Welcome to behind the scenes.
Hey, at least I muted myself when I went and took a leak earlier, and you're not muting yourself when you're eating fucking chips.
Oh, this is entertaining.
This is bullshit. StreamYards, end.